Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the Fi Mastery Podcast, where our focus is on providing tools, resources, and insights that empower driven individuals to become the masters of their own financial independence journey. My name is Peter Donisanu, and today we're going to talk about setting yourself up for success in the new year. Now, as holiday celebrations are winding down for your family, you're likely looking ahead to all the things you want to get done in the coming year. And by now, you've likely come across a number of articles covering the how-tos and the intricacies of goal setting for the coming year. Now, while today's discussion involves creating resolutions that last, today we'll focus on keeping things simple and bringing your attention to the basics that can help you ensure that your goals don't become another statistic. Indeed, by taking the time to dial in the why for your goals, aligning them with what's essential to you, and having a plan to deal with inevitable derailers, you can create lasting resolutions that stick all year long. So with that, let's dive into today's podcast. Now, you've likely heard that 80% of New Year's resolutions fail by February 1st, and some studies have even shown that less than 10% of individuals will achieve their New Year goals by the end of the year. So then what's the point, right? Why do so many of us go through the trouble of setting goals if there's a low chance of achieving our desired outcome in the end? Well, it's likely because we all know that goal setting allows us to create a structure for the things we're trying to accomplish, gives us a sense of control, and orients our mind away from the past and towards the future. Indeed, deep down, many of us want to experience a new and improved version of ourselves in one form or the other. And so milestones like the changing of the year is a perfect time to give it a shot, right? It's a new year, it's a new you. Well, just like Wayne Gretzky once said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So then how can you improve the odds in your favor and make lasting changes in the year ahead? Well, you can do so by creating resolutions anchored to your broad life purpose, focusing on actions that reflect your values, and developing resilience to meet setbacks head on. It sounds simple, right? Simple, yes, but the truth is, by aligning your financial strategy with what matters most to you, you'll create a meaningful financial resolution and likely see them come to effect throughout the rest of the year. All right, so one of the first steps to creating financial resolutions that last throughout the course of the year is to give your money purpose. And so what exactly do we mean here? Well, you can think of your purpose as sort of your bigger why for existence. That's because identifying your purpose is about answering the big proverbial question, what's this life all about? That's pretty deep, right? Well, the truth is that you don't need to fully understand what you were put on this planet to do to be able to identify your purpose for the year ahead. Indeed, you can start by considering something as simple as your anticipated lifestyle, your career, or anticipated family changes, and how you'd like to use your money to support the things that you want to accomplish in the coming year. Indeed, financial goals with a deeper purpose are more compelling and more sustainable. That's why aligning your financial resolution with your life's purpose can lead to more fulfilling outcomes and help you develop a sense of achievement beyond financial success. And so how do you go about doing this work? Well, you can start by reflecting on the past year's financial decisions and how they've contributed or detracted from your life's purpose. Then think of some things that you would like to have done differently or improved or changed, and jot these down on a piece of paper or notes in your phone. Then on another piece of paper, draw out 2 columns, and in the first column, write down the top 3 priorities in your life that you'd like to take center stage in the year ahead. This could include spending less time at work and more time with family, taking better care of your health, or engaging with your community. The key here is that your purpose is about identifying what you'd like to see happen in your life and who you need to become in order to make that happen. Now, in the second column of your notes, write out your top 3 financial goals for the year. In this column, you could be thinking of things like spending more prudently, saving more effectively, or investing more wisely. Now, consider what you plan to get done financially in the year ahead and think about how it aligns with your personal purpose. In other words, how do the things that you want to accomplish align with the plans that you have for the life you want in the coming year? Now, if you can't find ways to connect the dots between the two, then you may have a purpose alignment issue, which could derail your financial goals from the start. So then take the time to consider the path ahead of you and what you'd like to see get done. Then bring in the money discussion to support that end. Trying to do it the other way around could lead to disappointment at best and failed goals at worst when you're spending or saving in a way that doesn't reflect who you want to become. All right, so now that you have a better idea of how to align your money goals with your purpose, the next thing you'll want to do to ensure that your financial goals for the coming year stay on track is to ensure that they align with your values. So we've talked about your purpose. Now, what do we mean about your values? Well, values in this context refers to the core principles and beliefs that guide your life. They're like your internal compass, directing your day-to-day decisions and your day-to-day actions. In other words, if your purpose defines the road between where you are now and where you plan to go, then your values define how you behave along the way to avoid falling into a ditch. And so how does this all work? Well, if your purpose is to better support your family, then your family-oriented values might suggest that your financial goals include saving for a family vacation or ensuring that your college fund is well funded for your children. On the other hand, if you've identified community as your purpose and environmental conservation is close to your heart, then you might prioritize sustainable investments or have a desire to reduce consumption, so you can not only save money, but also the environmental resources around you. To be sure, these values act as a filter through which you view your financial choices. So then by identifying what truly matters to you, your financial resolutions become more than just a number or a target. They become reflections of who you are and what you aspire to contribute to the world. So then as you set your financial New Year's resolutions, take a moment to reflect on what's genuinely important to you and let your values guide your decisions. And so how do you go about doing this work? Well, the first thing you want to do here is take a step back and evaluate your current financial situation to see if your daily, weekly, or monthly choices align with who you want to become. To do this, you can start by asking yourself, based on my purpose for the year ahead, which of my spending or my saving habits are in sync with my core values and which of them aren't? Take the time to think about this question, and based on your response, then create a list of values that reflect your purpose for the coming year, along with a list of common financial choices that you anticipate making on a regular basis. And so then for those behaviors that align with your value and your purpose, consider giving them more of your energy. And for those behaviors that you've identified that don't align with your values, consider whether they're still necessary and think about strategies to avoid derailing your financial goals in the coming year. All right, so now that we've talked about how understanding your purpose can help you set the course for your goals and knowing your values sets the barometer for the day-to-day decisions, let's talk about some things that you could do to stay the course on your financial goals, even when life throws you a curveball. Now, looking down the road in the year ahead, it's inevitable that life's demands will evolve, and so should your financial strategy. Indeed, your life is always changing, and so the way you manage your financial goals should always be flexible and adaptable as well. You can think of it like steering a ship. You have your destination, which are your goals, but you also need to make necessary course adjustments as the sea conditions change. And so why is this flexibility important? Well, as life throws you different situations, like changes at work or a growing family or unexpected expenses, then your financial needs and your financial abilities need to change as well. That's why sticking rigidly to an old plan will not only not work, but it will likely guarantee that your goals will be derailed throughout the course of the year. And so what does this adaptability look like? Well, you might have set a goal to save a certain amount of money, and if you get a raise at work, well, now you have the ability to save even more. On the other hand, if the coming year brings you a new addition to your family, then you'll likely need to adjust how you're saving and spending to cover these additional expenses. In this way, by being willing to adapt your financial strategy, you can make sure it fits your current situation no matter what comes your way. Indeed, this way, you're not just blindly following a plan, you're actively managing your finances in a way that supports your life now as it is and as it will be in the future. And so how do you go about doing this work? Well, here again, take the time to consider your purpose and what you've defined for your life in the coming year. Again, you can do this by thinking about what's happening in your life now or what likely changes could be coming down the pike. This could include moving to a new place, considering changes in your career or your family, or even how you care about your mind or your body, or how involved you are with your community. Each of these changes brings different financial needs and different challenges. For example, let's say that you're planning to move to a new city in the coming year. This move isn't just about packing and finding a new house. It's also about thinking through the different ways that it may affect your finances. That's why you'll not only need to think about moving costs, but also think about changes in your living expenses and maybe even potential changes in your income. And now, once you've identified this big change and its consequences, take the time to create a plan to how you would handle it financially. In the case of the relocation, you could start by saving more money each month to simulate your additional living expenses in your new chosen city. And if you're expecting a salary change, like a raise, for example, consider not just how it might affect your overall saving and spending decisions in the year, but also what you would do if your anticipated raise or bonus failed to come through. So then, no matter what your situation might be, take some time to ask yourself, based on the changes I anticipate, what can I do now to get ahead of and manage potential curveballs that life may throw at me in the coming year? And if you're not sure what to expect in the year ahead, then simply take some time and reflect on the past year. Think about the financial goals that you had set for yourself and consider the specific factors that knocked you off course and whether you anticipate them to happen again. Indeed, this approach ensures that your financial strategy supports what's happening in your life and helps you stay on track with your goals even as things around you inevitably change. It's about making your money work for you no matter what life throws your way. When it comes down to it, each new year brings with it an opportunity for a fresh start. In many ways, it's one of life's little chances for a do-over, and it's an opportunity to finally get things on the right course as they should be. Now, with all that said, even the best laid plans are doomed to failure if you're executing on the wrong strategy. That's why this year, as you craft your financial resolutions, take a moment to pause and build them from the foundation of deep intention. Here you can start by clarifying your purpose and ensuring that your goals are not just empty aspirations, but beacons guiding you toward your life's true destination. Then let your values be the yardstick that help you make wise choices, and even more crucially, develop flexible strategies and have contingency plans ready for those unpredictable moments that life invariably throws your way. Indeed, these efforts not only ensure that you don't become another statistic in the coming year, they'll also help you take one step closer to becoming the master of your own financial independence journey. Well, that's it for now. Thank you for taking the time to listen to the Fi Mastery podcast. To learn more about today's topic, you can visit the episodes page at FiMastery.com. And if you can find one person in your life who would find today's message helpful in getting their financial house in order, please share this episode with them. But until next time, I'm Peter Donisanu, wishing you and yours abundant health and prosperity.
The Find Mastery podcast is brought to you by Franklin Madison Advisors, Inc. Franklin Madison Advisors is a registered investment advisor firm with its registration and principal place of business in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Registration of an investment advisor does not imply a certain level of skill or training. This commentary and forecast are limited to the dissemination of general information pertaining to Franklin Madison Advisors' investment advisory services and general economic and market conditions and are subject to change without notice. The information shared today is not intended to be personal, legal, investment, or tax advice, or a solicitation to buy or sell any security or engage in a particular investment strategy. For additional information about Franklin Madison Advisors, including fees and services, please contact Franklin Madison Advisors or refer to the investment advisor public disclosures.